Hi, this is the fourth episode. Now we are all caught up for the week and this is the week of April 10th to April 17th of 2011 at Sarah Lawrence College. So lots more exciting stuff for this week. As we were talking about, I applied for a $1,000 grant to expand composting operations, and I will use that money to get a wider education of all of the other composting projects that are going on in the New York City metropolitan area, and even possibly going to a college in Pennsylvania where students also single-handedly started up composting. So let's hope that I get that grant. We'll see what happens. It is the David Peritz grant at Sarah Lawrence College. I am also stacking up a lot more compost for the week. Got several heavy buckets of coffee grounds and a bunch of fruit waste at the pub at Sarah Lawrence College. So anytime you see fruit cups, you can think that all of the rinds and stuff like that is actually getting composted now. And I am also going to start talking to the people responsible for picking up the garbage at the pub and making sure that anytime they take the paper waste out of that bin, that they actually know where it is, so then they can give it to me. Otherwise, it looks like we might be getting a customer for our compost this week. This will be the first customer I have served in the New York area. This is what the package will now look like. Right here, you can see it's to Kelly, and the label is actually reused paper, and the packaging was found in AVI Fresh's recycle bin because I work at Bates there at the food dining hall. And we can see the motto here. It's a little bit blurry perhaps on this camera. It says, "It is a home-cooked, local, organic meal for your plants to savor." Very important to make sure people know that. And I have two more containers like that. I'm selling them for $1.50 for each container, for $1.50 a pound, 75 cents for a container like this. So pretty good deal. It's kind of like Miracle-Gro, except it's actually healthy for your plants. So definitely be sure to check that out. I have going to be selling 2 of them today. There is a third one for the third customer. So feel free. This is going to be really awesome. And in the future, I am also looking forward to selling more compost and raising the revenue of that a bit. And eventually, this can actually just take my campus job, so I can actually be sort of self-employed. And otherwise, still contending with smell issues. I did end up ripping up a whole bunch of paper that was at the Board of Trustees' house because there were some serious smell problems there. It looks like the smells have since abated quite a bit, and it also looked like I have a lot more space to put composting stuff in. For the week, how much we have composted, let me pull out here. Here we go. So for food, we have composted 465 pounds and 6 ounces for this week, and plastic we have for this last week, that is. This week is going to be a different week, which I will give you the results probably this Saturday or Sunday. Plastic, we have reused 35 pounds and 2 ounces. I am starting to reuse a lot of those plastic bags where we put our paper waste into at the pub. I'm actually going to start bringing those bags back, so then we can start reusing it. And paper, we have 94 pounds and 14 ounces of dry paper, most of which is not recyclable for the reason I gave you in the introductory video. And so yeah, let's just hope that we get lots more done with composting otherwise. And for projects in the future, you can start to look at those plastic cups which get thrown out at the pub, both those quote-unquote compostable ones and the actual plastic ones. And I'm looking into a means of selling that with a seed in there, and it will grow into a nice plant, and we can sell all of those for indoor house plants for all of the Sarah Lawrence students to get, which will be a nice way of reaching out to Sarah Lawrence College students. Unfortunately, I did try to sell compost to the landscaper at Sir Lawrence College, as I said, and unfortunately she rejected that, didn't want any compost, and of course I offered to use the greenhouse, and of course they didn't want me to use that either, so I'm going to have to find something else for the winter. But luckily I am collecting packaging from the post office. I collected my first packaging for the week, and I'm getting some good stuff, so I'm looking forward to stopping by the post office again today. And, well, that'll be it. It has been great talking to you, and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.